Energy emissions power. Let's get into it. So first, why is it important why I care? So you can see above, and this follows, I think, the same through line with a lot of different articles. Countries around the world right now are primarily focused on maintaining access to reliable and mostly cheap energy. This is the world of today. So post Russia's invasion of Ukraine, countries maintaining access to energy became front of mind for a lot of folks. Now, thinking and how this applies to industry and cost for consumers, and then subsequently follow that trail even further down. If you can't provide that for your citizenry, you're likely to have protests in the street. Expand that conversation out to rearmament as well. Now, Europe is particularly cogent to this conversation because they sit at the confluence of setting rearmament goals for themselves while also having some of the most stringent emissions-related and sustainability-related and ESG-related rules for any economic bloc in the world. Now, at a time, again, post-Russia's invasion of Ukraine, where these items are kind of no longer a nice-to-have. In fact, and this isn't just my own opinion, this is how world leaders talk about it, it's not a nice-to-have, it's a necessity. If you want to maintain sovereignty, if you want to enforce your own trade deals, et cetera, the line goes on. Europe has the most stringent laws here as it relates to emissions goals and sustainability. By 2050, they want to be completely net zero. Now, frankly, personally, we don't really know what that means because if you're importing energy from anywhere else, you import coal, natural gas, oil, whatever, the emissions are still being produced to, one, bring it out of the ground, and then, again, when you're burning it. So, frankly, the whole idea is a little bit silly, especially if you were saying we need heavy industry to rearm ourselves, which is a worthy goal. You should, given the geopolitical volatility that we're living in right now. Heavy industry requires an immense amount of power. Likewise, technology, AI, also requires an immense amount of power. Move this conversation to North America as well, obviously the United States, but for different reasons. So obviously we don't have as stringent of sustainability and emissions-related rules, net zero rules, which is good, but we are still, in fact, a very, very big country that requires a very, very large amount of energy and power to meet the demand. Again, especially as we talk about rearmament, the arsenal of democracy, for the conflicts of now and the conflicts of the future. This is really important to reindustrialization in the United States as well as fulfilling that AI need. So ultimately, for both the United States and Europe, and frankly any other allies, democracies around the world, the answer is going to be in all of the above solutions. So yes, of course, renewables, but look, the baseline should not be rhetoric against traditional energy, legacy energy, oil, natural gas, coal, nuclear, et cetera, et cetera. If we are going to meet the heavy reindustrialization demands of today and definitely in the future, then we will have to embrace both types of energy, legacy and new. Like, subscribe for more.